got my little pet King Charles Cavalier on my lap who's sleeping, so he always helps me with I try to do my videos with him. I feel that he calms my soul and puts me in a good space to be able to share with others. So when they say that King Charleses are lap dogs, they really mean it. Wherever I sit, he seems to smell there's a lap and he'll just come walking and plunk himself down on my body and either go to sleep or chomp one of my fingers. So I feel deeply grateful for him, and he's really helped me to be able to share all of this with everybody, opened up my heart. So I wanted to share today angel messages on children, and this is something that's very close to my heart. Oh, he's waking up. Something that's close to my heart. When I first started studying, I did Montessori, and I worked as a nursery school teacher, and I was then a principal of a nursery school in South Africa, and I always thought that was something I was going to do forever. I was very passionate about working with kids, really believing that children are the future, and wanting to kind of help children to see the best in themselves, and to go into the communities and help each other and serve the wider community. And what was interesting about that is when I was working with kids and parents, I already had the awakening and could see people that have passed over and communicate with angels. And I had this routine where at the end of the day, I would put Mozart on, and we had a whole lot of beanbags, and we'd end the day with, it was little children, so it was up until the ages of, this particular group was 14 months to 3-4 years of age. And we'd end the day with them on the beanbags and listening to a story and having something to drink and a biscuit. And some of them would fall asleep, but it was just like a really peaceful session. And then once the story was finished, they'd just sit there listening to the music. They just wouldn't move, and yes, they were tired at the end of the day. But what I found is the parents would sometimes, at the beginning accidentally come earlier. So if the pickup time was 12:30, then sometimes they'd be there 12:15 and accidentally came across this relaxation period. And what I started to find is parents would come actually earlier, a little earlier. So if the relaxation started at 12, I had a few parents that were actually coming in to sit on the beanbags and just soak in the atmosphere and listen to the music and sit in a peaceful environment. And what I then found after that is some of them would stay and linger, and they would then let me know what was going on in their lives, whether they were experiencing any difficulties or anything like that. And I found it very useful because I definitely think that parents are a package deal with children. If your child isn't happy, then chances are the parents are not happy or something's going on in the home. And so I always felt that as much as I was there to serve the children and be there for them and to help them and listen to them and bring out the best in them, I was also there for the parents. And it meant a lot to me. So I would listen to them at the end of the day, and they would tell me about their problems and different things going on. And that's what actually led me to go out of working with kids to using the messages of the angels to help adults and help them to help their children in that kind of a way. And I used to work with the angels while I was listening to them. Nobody knew. a bit cheeky, I know. But and then that really inspired me to work with adults, um, in order to kind of make people mindfully aware of children and their specialness. And I wanted to share my observations within the nursery and just out and about, in shopping centers or when you're walking. I mean, children are everywhere, so you get an opportunity to kind of observe them with parents, with grandparents. And this is nothing I ever say is to kind of point fingers and to criticize. I mean, there's so much negativity in the world with that, and I definitely don't want to be one of those people. This is more about sharing in a compassionate way, to make things better for children, but not in a judgment of adults. So what I find is, when I would be in nursery or shopping, you know, parents would arrive very caught up with whatever would, not all parents, but you know, some of the time parents would arrive very caught up with what's going on for them, like there was something else to rush to. So they would quickly pick up their children, they would, ooh and ah at a painting that had been done, but not really actually look at the painting. And children know the difference. Like if you say to them, oh, that's amazing, you're just incredible. Positive affirmation is a good thing. I'm not suggesting take that out, and if that's all you can do right now, please keep that. But it's more about, really actually just taking a minute to just sit down with them and really have a look at that painting. And you can tell a lot by children's drawings, so just to be interested, what's going on up here, what are they thinking and feeling, and just sit down and really look at that and say, oh my gosh, sweetheart, wow, what does this mean? And and who's this for? And it means so much to them. They're little people, but their souls are so big, and they know so much more than we give them credit for. I believe that the soul goes on and on and on. So you have many different incarnations. So you reincarnate in this body and you're born and you have this small little size, but you've got all the wisdom of the ages in you. So it's a kind of a real challenge to look at children and look at them and see them at 2 and say, you're just a 2-year-old and you're just this empty vessel that I'm going to fill with all my wisdom. Whereas to look at them and see, wow, this is in a 2-year-old's body, but I have such respect for this life form that's had many different incarnations, that knows an enormous amount, and I'm just here to kind of serve them and facilitate, but not to push things into them or onto them. And so this is about, so parents would arrive, just diverting, I do that, and they rush quickly over things and quickly pack the bag, and everything's in a hurry, and put that in, and just watching them can make you feel exhausted. You take a deep breath and come, we've got to go, come. And children, they don't really have a choice. They've got to hurry it up, and but there's something so beautiful about them in terms of the pace of life. My best age group is this little children and old people, because both categories have surrendered. They both go at a different pace. Children, will look at a butterfly just like this huge wonder, take time over a flower, take time over people, smile, that just, they smile with their whole being. And I don't know if you've noticed, but if you look at adults, not many people smile. I'm not saying no one laughs and no one smiles, but it's not like children, and it's very rare. Somehow as people get older, they lose their light, they lose their shine, they're looking so far ahead at the big things and wanting to win and wanting to achieve, that they just lose the whole gift of life, that there isn't this big picture or meaning for your life, other than it's a gift from God, to enjoy and, to linger over the flowers, to play with friends, to smile at each other, to really enjoy a meal. When you eat your strawberries, really enjoy your strawberries. Sometimes we're so in a hurry. I don't know where we're all going to, but because eventually one day we're all going to die. I know that sounds very morbid, but I believe that looking at our impermanent nature helps us to really appreciate each other and appreciate the impermanence of our lives, in terms of there's nothing really to build or to aspire to, that we have to win and we have to succeed, like a destination we've got to go to, because eventually we put everything back in the box, including ourselves, and that's it. So I rather see life as it's this gift, it's this time to play. It's not about not striving, but it's about volition. What is your deepest heart's desire? What is this journey about for you? And then really feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and following your bliss. Because life is short, and children are our greatest teachers. Instead of us seeing them as we're their teachers, and it is an exchange that we, instead of we're just filling them, kind of looking to children as a way of regaining sovereignty over our light. I really believe children actually come in and they help us to learn to go back and be in the moment again, how to slow everything down, how to give generously, how to smile, how to appreciate just the very little things. And I want us to be able to learn to go at a child's pace, instead of seeing them as just these little people that have no substance of their own. And instead of rushing them here and there, really taking time to listen to them. So often I'll see kids walking alongside parents, how children do, and they're telling you this grand story about this and about that and what's happening. And you'll see that the parents are focused either on doing the parking or getting the shopping done. I mean, people are busy. No one's saying, women nowadays are superwomen. But I look at the kids, and if you look at their face, it's like they're sharing this enormous soul of theirs, and then there's nobody to validate that back to them, And it's not about, I understand there's limits, one can't have a continuous, maybe children could go on forever, but it's about taking time in those times that you have when they're sharing with you, to really, really look and really see them and really listen to them, because children are a gift. And the more you validate them and the more you see them, the more they will go on to do great things with their life and to share that love with others. And we only know who we are by the reflection of how people see us, what they reflect back to us. So when people love us and they listen to us and they validate us, we grow inside ourselves in stature. We feel good about ourselves. And when people don't listen to us and they don't really hear us and they don't really see us, we shrivel inside, and eventually we stop trying and we don't really know our worth because no one really reflected it back to us. So please today, begin your day and look at others, children and adults, and take time to, when they talking to you, instead of wanting to be heard, really listen to them. What's going on with this person, my partner, my child? Really give that gift of deep listening.